Now, charges have been dropped against 3 British men accused of terror offences linked to the Kurdish militia group, the YPG. The group is a long-standing ally of the West and isn't classified as a terror organisation by the UK. The men were accused of helping or funding a British man currently fighting with the YPG in Syria, but the prosecution told the Old Bailey there was insufficient evidence. Our Home Affairs correspondent June Kelly has more.
So we had one little firefight just man, Elias managed to kill one of the dastards.
Dan Newey, one of a band of Britons who've travelled to the Middle East to join the battle against Islamic State forces. Last autumn he headed to the front line in Syria. Back home in Solihull in the West Midlands, his father Paul got a message from him asking for a loan of £150. He says he sent the money not knowing where his son was. A few weeks later, he was arrested.
About 11 police officers with machine guns, Glocks, the bulletproof vest, the whole work.
It's snowing here in Rojava.
Dan Newey is now in his second spell in Syria, fighting with the Kurdish militia, the YPG, long regarded as allies of the West.
He was with the SAS, he was with MI6, he was given rockets launchers by the SAS, he was given an iPad to call in airstrikes from the US Army and from the British Air Force.
There was further shock for the family when Paul Newey's younger son Sam was accused of helping his older brother to fill in a form. Father and son were charged under terror legislation.
What a waste of my life and everybody else's life, that it's tried to destroy my life for nothing, for giving my son £150.
Dan Burke, a former soldier, was due to stand trial with the Neweys. He's spent 7 months on remand in prison. He was accused of helping Paul Newey's son and plotting to travel to the Middle East. From the start, there have been questions about why this prosecution was being brought. Today, at the Old Bailey, it was halted. The way that this case has suddenly been abandoned is highly embarrassing for the prosecuting authorities. In court, the prosecutor, Simon Davis, said only that the evidence had been reviewed and it was decided there was no longer a realistic prospect of convictions. Defence lawyers called for a fuller explanation. The judge has now ordered another hearing where the defence will argue more information is needed in the interests of justice. June Kelly, BBC News at the Old Bailey.